Hey everyone. So this is an excerpt from a longer video that Ash and I made where we talk about queer representation in World of Warcraft. In this segment, I spend about 30 minutes listing heterosexual romances that feature prominently in World of Warcraft's story alongside clips taken from the games of moments when those romances were made explicit. I just thought it might be useful to have this as its own standalone video so that if I ever found myself in an argument with someone who was trying to say that romance isn't a big part of WoW's story, and this is why there shouldn't be more queer characters and couples in the game, I could go, no, here is at least 30 minutes of times when heterosexual romance has been a big part of WoW's narrative. Anyway, so that's what this video is, so enjoy. I gave myself a little challenge. I told myself, what if I only used characters that could be found as a battlenet launcher icon? For people who don't know, to launch a Blizzard game, you usually use battlenet, which is like this application, and you have to create an account and you can have an icon with your account. They have characters from all of their games like Overwatch and stuff like that. And they have characters from World of Warcraft. And I was like, I bet if I just go through the characters from World of Warcraft that have battlenet launcher icons, I bet I could come up with a pretty long list of like main characters who are in heterosexual relationships. And I was definitely right.
Please start on your list of heterosexual.
Okay, this is my list of like heterosexual characters who have not been confirmed by or anything like that. So going just on battlenet launcher icons, we have Thrall. Thrall is married to, or his life mate is Agra.
What are you saying, Goen? What is in your heart?
I stand before you, Goel, son of Durotan, son of Garad. And if you would have me, I would be your life mate. For so long as I live, I will stand at your side, as you have stood at mine.
I stand before you, Agralan, daughter of Rial, daughter of Sarak, and I will proudly be your mate, Goel, in this world or any other.
Thrall is such a linchpin of the Warcraft series that it feels very silly trying to explain who he is, but he is a character who goes back all the way to Warcraft's RTS days. He played a big role in shaping the new Horde and served for a long time as its war chief. He recently stepped back into the spotlight again as a leader and kind of the face of the Horde. His relationship to Agra goes all the way back to Cataclysm, and then Thrall and Agra also have children together. Thrall's parents, Durotan and Draka, were also a heterosexual couple. Durotan and Draka were protagonists on the Horde side of the 2016 Warcraft movie, of which their relationship and pregnancy are a key subplot.
I thought of a name.
Well, keep it to yourself, wife. I'll choose a name when I meet him. Or her.
Oh? And how will the great Durotan name his son? If I do not travel with him?
A son? Or can you hide your fat belly?
Better than you can hide your fat head.
Next couple, we have Malfurion and Tyrande, also main characters. Like Thrall, Malfurion and Tyrande go all the way back to the Warcraft RTS games, and their relationship has served as the emotional core of many stories over the years, both in-game and in novels.
Tyrande!
I knew you would not forsake me.
I thought I'd lost you forever, my love. If not for Illidan's aid, I may well have.
Malfurion! Where is my beloved? Where are you, Malfurion? Answer me!
My love! I am here! Where are you, Tyrande? I need you!
Hold on, my love! I am near.
You cannot keep me from her! Tyrande!
Yes, I hear you! I am close now! Xavius is using Malfurion to bait me, to distract me from what must be done. Ah, Malfurion, my beloved. For 100 years he slept beneath Moonglade. Whenever I was plagued with doubt, I would descend into his barrow. I watched over him as he slept. Even in slumber, his presence calmed me. I left my fears below the earth and emerged, ready to lead my people. When Malfurion returned to my side, we worked as one, as if he had never been away. Have you ever loved as I have? Now Xavius has me by the throat. I must abandon my beloved and subdue the most beautiful creature I have ever known. I am so tired, Malfurion. Do not ask this of me. After everything we have endured.
My love, you have always been the strength of our people. They will follow you ever onward, and you will never be alone.
Until I see you again, I will dream of the night we may truly rest together.
They do have an adopted daughter, so that is kind of like a slightly different family unit there. You have Illidan Stormrage, another main character who had unreciprocated feelings for Tyrande.
Tyrande, it is your voice. After all these ages spent in darkness, your voice is like the pure light of the moon upon my mind. Because I once cared for you, Tyrande, I will hunt down the demons.
You risked your life for me. I don't understand.
Whatever I may be, whatever I may become in this world, know that I will always look out for you, Tyrande.
At those times when I faced doubt, I held true to one constant, one anchor. You have always embodied the best of Azeroth, Tyrande. Your faith, your devotion. Through the darkest times, my belief in you never wavered. I leave Azeroth's defense to you and to my brother. Take care of him, Tyrande. Though at times I wished your heart had made a different choice, in the end, I know it made the right one.
And then we have Lorthamar and Thalyrisra. So these two characters are also faction leaders. Lorthamar is the Regent Lord of Quel'Thalas and also the leader of the Blood Elves. Thalyrisra is the current leader of the Nightborn. Their romance and devotion to one another have been affirmed very clearly, both in and out of game.
Your proposal? I am quite certain it was I who begged for your hand in marriage, Thalyrisra.
Lorthamar Theron, you are such a creature of duty that you would have delayed our wedding over a crooked painting in Silvermoon. How fortunate I am that both our kingdoms witnessed our vows, else you might try to deny that we ever exchanged them.
Deny the happiest moments of my life? Never. Whether under the light of the sun or the rays of the moon, I will love you for all my days, Thalyrisra.
As I will love you.
Lorthamar was recently the face of the announcement trailer for the upcoming expansion Midnight.
Soon, I will break your world.
You can't even break one elf.
They've also been featured in a book about their honeymoon, exploring Azeroth Isles and Islands. And they've also had two major short stories about their relationships. One was about their courtship, and the other was about their wedding. Next up, we have Varian Wrynn and Tiffin. Varian is another important character in Warcraft lore. He was King of Stormwind and High King of the Alliance for a number of years. He was basically the face of the Alliance when he was alive, just like Thrall continues to be the face of the Horde. But even after Varian's death, his presence still weighs heavily on other characters.
I know firsthand the pain of loss. My father, King Varian Wrynn, gave his life to save his people.
A giant memorial was also built for him in Stormwind so that later Alliance players who didn't know him in-game can still see that he was an important hero. Tiffin is unfortunately one of those female characters whose death made more of an impact on the plot than her actual character. We don't really know much about her aside from rose-tinted platitudes about how beautiful and kind she was. Her absence has been a pain point for both Varian and their son Anduin over the years, particularly in the short story Blood of Our Fathers. Anduin is currently in possession of her engagement and wedding rings, which he will presumably pass on to his future betrothed. Tiffin also has a memorial in-game, but hers is much smaller than Varian's. Varian's parents were also heterosexual, that's Taria and Lane Wrynn, and then Varian Tiffin also famously had a son, Anduin, who is now a main character, and Anduin himself has only been described as showing attraction to women in canon, to various degrees of certainty. Next we have Arthas, who...
Hold on, so the wiki devs hate her. Find out this one easy trick for making straight men impossible mad. So
saying that Anduin likes men as well as women, yes.
the mere implication of the fuming. Okay, next point, so don't distract us.
Next we have Arthas, who is the titular Lich King, who is like the focus of Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne, and also Wrath of the Lich King. He was in a relationship with Jaina Proudmoore, who is another major character.
It looks like you haven't lost your touch. It's good to see you again, Jaina.
You too, Arthas. It's been a while since a prince escorted me anywhere.
Yes, it has.
Tell me how, Uther. How do I destroy my prince?
Snap out of it, girl. You must destroy the Lich King at the place where he merged with Ner'zhul.
Forgive me, heroes. I should have listened to Uther. I had to see for myself. To look into his eyes one last time. He kept it. All this time, he kept it. I knew. I sensed a part of him still alive, trapped, struggling. Oh, Arthas. Perhaps he might someday remember what he once was. By the light, may he at last find rest.
Jaina?
I'm sorry, Arthas. I can't watch you do this. I should have stopped him. He never would have turned. He'd still be alive. I loved him, you know.
As did I. Take that love with you, Jaina. Let it lend you strength in dark times.
Jaina Proudmoore was also in a relationship with Caligos.
Jaina!
Calic! I'm sorry I haven't reached out sooner.
Not to worry. You've been more than a little busy. I think we both needed to make a journey, just not together.
And that's all right.
It is.
There is Moira and Dagran Thurisian. They were another major couple. Their relationship featured heavily in Cataclysm. Basically, there was like some contention over Moira's decision to marry Dagran. She was assumed to have been kidnapped. It was like this whole thing. Dagran Thurisian was killed, and it was a big point of political contention. It was also something that came up recently in The War Within, their relationship, and Magni Bronzebeard's acceptance of it.
And we also got the raid.
And the raid, yes.
I wanted Dagran to be an emperor, not a servant. I wanted to rule together. But I know how this story ends, champion. And I can't bear to watch it.
Moira fights at the Emperor's side in both versions. But in the past, there was a bit of a debate whether or not he had ensorcelled her. Not hard to imagine, considering that they put her in a Princess Leia outfit. In the new version, she's dressed more in dark iron garbs, more in line with the story that we have these days, which is that Moira actually fell in love with Dagran. Growing up, her father Magni had never shown her respect, simply because she was born a woman. Her time at the Dark Islands was the complete opposite. And these so-called heroes, they came in and they took out not only the leader of the Dark Islands, not only her husband, but also the father of her unborn child.
Spare my son.
No! Thorson was a great and honorable dwarf. You ruined my life and the life of my unborn child. At first, the Dark Irons were just tools for my own ambition. And then I was blinded by love. And my wee Dagran, my son, a symbol of our unity, and the legacy my husband never got to see. Dagran Thorson II, named after his father. I didn't want folks forgetting where he came from, the bad, the good, everything. I just wish Dagran was here to see it. The Dark Iron's free, the leader our son is becoming. I'm sure he would be proud.
Again, the focus is sexual relationship and the impact of those two characters working out like very difficult things in regards to that. It's complex, it's messy. Moira had her reasons and she's allowed to be messy. That's the thing too.
The Dark Irons felt cursed, that violence was the only choice. I thought I could change them. Change him. I won't defend the things the Dark Irons did. What I did. The blood on our hands. I was blinded by my hatred for my father, blinded by my pride.
Moira's parents, Magni Bronzebeard and Aemar, were also heterosexual. Next up, we have Ilaria and Tyralion. Since they came back during Legion, Ilaria has been like a key character this expansion and the War Within, and her relationship to Tyralion has also played a major factor in events in the game.
I should have been there for you.
You were. More than you could ever know.
We stood together for 1,000 years. I'll stand by you for 1,000 more.
And the next time I push you away?
I wait. Until you ask me to come back.
And it's a good thing I always do.
I've missed you, Illyria. And I'm not going anywhere.
I know. We stand together, Tyralion. Here and now.
I'm coming with you.
I know you would. But your place is here. I need you to trust me.
Come back to me.
I always do.
And they also have a son, Erator.
Who is also going to be a main character.
Erator, who is also going to be a main character next expansion. They've had a short story, at least one short story about their relationship. They've been featured in books. Their family is like, they get portraits. So like a reward for like pre-purchasing some edition of the next expansion is you get portraits of each of the family members that you can hang in your house for when Housing gets released in this game.
And Xalatath.
And Xalatath, yeah.
Just pointing that out too, because I feel like that's a relationship that I think we should really focus on too here. Ilaria and Tyralion, like Tyralion's trust in Ilaria. The upcoming book is their complicated relationship. These characters, again, are allowed to be in messy hetero relationships, but still show their overwhelming love for each other and real sexuality, you know, with each other. These are men and women in relationships, and we can accept those. And this is the thing, people jokingly saying Ilaria and Xalatath, you know, as like the toxic Yuri, which is...
They don't flirt. It's not flirting.
It's not real it's fun sort of bantering game, but actually trying to say that any sort of seed of truthfulness in any sort of romantic, even, you know, messed up romantic attraction between the both is, again, it's just it's treated like a joke.
Right, they don't get into the game like the repercussions, like Ilaria feeling guilt over cheating on Terralion, you know, by having these feelings for this sentient voidy creature who came out of a knife.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Summer Hikaru died going on here. But let's just say this, like, it's good in good fun with a lot of queer players, right? And it may even be in good with the devs, but it doesn't hold a grain of truth. Can't ascribe any sort of queer attraction for these because, and I even saw this, people immediately getting defensive and saying, well, Ilaria is married. It will be immediately shut down by the validity of a heterosexual relationship. Queer relationships are not valid. Heterosexual relationships are valid. You know, that's the sort of trend we often see. Okay. Keep going, Sil.
Okay, so you have Bane, who is the leader of the Tauren. He has a relationship with Mila High Mountain, who is a female High Mountain Tauren.
Be patient. Your friend will return when his feet guide him back to those who love him.
Thank you for reminding me of that, Mela. And for your kindness.
Always, Bane.
Mela has the most perfect antlers. Yeah, not that I'm thinking about them or anything. Do not speak about her antlers.
There is Deathwing, who was the main villain of the Cataclysm expansion. He had many female consorts, willing and unwilling, unfortunately. And then he almost married Arthas' sister, Kalia Menethil, when he was disguised as a human named Deval Prestor, and that was a big plot point. Next up, we have Sylvanas, who was the leader of the Forsaken. She was like a major villain in BFA and Shadowlands. She had a relationship with Thanos, and they still kind of had feelings for each other into Undeath.
Safe journey, Nathanos.
Safe journey, my love.
Go, my champion.
The next one, so Velen has a quote-unquote presumed wife because we never learn her name, but he has a son, and that's a big plot point in Legion.
In the time that is now just the whisper of a memory, I had a son. On the day of his birth, a vision came to me. In that vision, I saw myself weeping as I held the dying Eredar in my arms. But I buried that vision after Kil'jaeden took my family from me, and for eons let it be lost in the darkest recesses of my being. Now, finally, as I hold you in my arms, I understand.
There's that nuclear family. Next up, we have Gen, who was the leader of the Worgen. That's now Tess Greymane, who is the daughter of Gen and Mia Greymane. So that's another nuclear family with the heterosexual parents.
It's impossible to reason with that girl.
Remind you of anyone, dear? She did not inherit her temper from me. But she's not wrong. Liam was the heir apparent. He was meant to lead Gilneas.
Not a day goes by without me thanking the light that the two of you were spared the curse. It is not the answer she seeks.
Perhaps not. But that is a lesson she must learn herself. Let her talk to the druid. We'll see how that goes.
And if it goes badly?
Then we'll have another one of these pleasant family conversations.
There's the dragon Alexstrasza. She has multiple male consorts. Alexstrasza has been featured in multiple expansions, and she is the queen of the dragons.
Do you think I have big mom energy?
There's also Nosdormu, who is the leader of the Bronze Dragonflight. He has a wife, Sora Dormi. There is Ysera. I just started listing dragons because we just had a dragon expansion, and dragons have been featured heavily in like multiple expansions. So there's Ysera. She has, or had, I don't know if he's deceased or not. I think he might be Iranicus.
He is. He's in that dungeon that was a classic dungeon. Temple in the Wetlands, you go down and you fight a Hakar-esque snake skeletons, and he's the last boss, isn't there?
They had a number of children, including Marithra, who was a main character in the Dragonflight expansion, and possibly more. I don't remember.
Being dragons, they probably have a lot of kids, yeah.
Yeah, they do have a lot of kids. They tend to have a lot of kids.
But gay relationships, though,
lacking on that front. Another dragon couple is Malagos, who is also leader of the Blue Dragonflight, his mate Syndragosa. He also had other female consorts, willing and unwilling. There's unfortunately a lot of rape involved in the dragon storylines, but their relationship was like a major plot point in Dragonflight, particularly on the Blue Dragonflight side.
Malagos? Is it truly you?
My treasure. What happened?
It seems they are in good hands. Together. Always.
And then this is reaching a little bit, but I wanted to mention this because Kalagos is such a darling of the dev team. An unreciprocated relationship is heavily implied between Kalagos, the new leader of the Blue Dragonflight, who was formerly in a relationship with Jaina Proudmoore. There's a relationship between Kalagos and Kirigosa in Dragonflight, which I think was like another fanship that kind of wandered into the game. There's like a quest line that you go on between them, and they're kind of flirting with each other and having like a great time together.
It's beautiful.
Better than frost and snow. Keep up, Kalagos. Let the warm winds take you. That boy still has it, doesn't he?
It's very heavily implied that they kind of had a thing, but Kirigosa isn't interested in a relationship right now.
Kalagos, your return stirs my heart and my memories. I've remade my family here. If I had a choice, I would never leave them.
Kiri, I apologize. You do have a choice. I'm happy for Kiri. She deserves this and so much more. She spent her entire life dedicated to the Blue Dragonflight, even after loss. After loss. After events I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. Nothing more can be taken from her.
That was just something special I put in for me because I was rolling my eyes throughout the entire thing because I was just very fed up with how well Kalagos was being treated in Dragonflight compared to other characters that I like.
What are you looking at me for?
Kalagos, the dev's favorite white boy of the expansion. They always have to have a favorite white boy.
My dear Kalagos.
Let me just say he also fucked the Sunwell as a woman. He couldn't have the Sunwell as a man. No, the Sunwell had to be a woman, a sexy woman. And you're also forgetting one in here too, Sel. Going back to Jaina's other, like, I'd say slightly...
Oh, right. Kael'thas, right? Kael'thas, yeah. Was it unreciprocated or were they actually in a relationship?
It was kind of unreciprocated. He really liked Jaina, but I think Jaina was a bit cool on it. You know what I mean?
Are you still upset that I stole Jaina from you, Kael? You've taken everything I've ever cared for, Arthas. Vengeance is all I have left.
Everyone wants Jaina. Sex bomb Jaina.
The point is that Jaina Proudmoore, major character, has had like multiple relationships so many boyfriends that have been very important to the plot.
So you think you know what it's like to date a bad boy? Girlfriend? You have no idea.
Hey everyone. So there were actually a few more notable characters with battlenet icons who were or are in heterosexual relationships that I missed during my talk with Ash, and I just wanted to touch on them briefly now. So next up we have Cairn Bloodhoof. He is Bane's father.
I am Bane, son of Cairn.
And the former leader of the Tauren before Bane took that mantle, and his life mate was a female Tauren named Tamala. Next, we have Garrosh's father, Grommash Hellscream. He was the chieftain of the Warsong clan who was involved in the events of Warcraft 2 and 3, and also appeared in a few books such as Lord of the Clans. His life mate was a female orc named Golka, and I actually discovered that there were a series of videos put out by Blizzard to kind of advertise advertise the upcoming expansion Warlords of Draenor. Each one featured a different orc, and Gromash was featured in one of the videos, and there's actually a scene with his life mate Golka where she's heavily injured after a battle and she's begging him to kill her so that she can have a quote-unquote honorable warrior's death. He basically refuses and calls her weak for wanting to die, then abandons her. It was a pretty significant part of that video, which was meant to be a highlight reel of events that encapsulate who Gromash Hellscream is as a character.
Among the victims of their retribution was Gromash's mate, Golka.
I am done. Give me the warrior's death I deserve.
No, you will not be broken. A true war song spits in the face of death.
Don't you see? It's too late. End it.
So many of my warriors bent like reeds. And now you are a wolf with no teeth. All of you.
Next up, so this one is kind of a stretch, Talanji. So we last saw Talanji during the short story, The Eternal Vow, which was about Lorthamar and Thylisra's wedding, which she attended with a male troll named Sakan as her +1. So your +1 is usually a significant other or a very close friend. So I'm going to chalk that up to a hint at a relationship between the two of them. They also spent a lot of time together in Shadows Rising. Sakan saved Talanji's life in one scene, that kind of thing. So last up, we have Bolvar Fortdragon. He played a pretty significant role in Wrath of the Lich King, wherein he became the Lich King after Arthas's death because, quote unquote, there must always be a Lich King. He had an unnamed wife, and together they had a daughter, Talia Fortdragon, who also played a significant role in the questing experience of Battle for Azeroth on the Alliance side. Talia was also featured in the Shadowlands expansion, wherein she journeyed to the Shadowlands with the player characters to reunite with her father, to reunite with Bolvar. Bolvar also played a significant role in Shadowlands as well. And then the last thing I wanted to mention was that I forgot when I was talking about Varian that Onyxia was kind of trying to seduce him when his soul was split and his more passive self was serving as King of Stormwind. So she was basically trying to manipulate Stormwind, the human kingdom, through him by taking the guise of a female noblewoman named Katrana Prestor. So that was another heterosexual relationship that kind of played a significant role in the plot of, it was either at the very, very start of World of Warcraft or predating World of Warcraft. The story was featured in some comics. This story also made an appearance during the Human Heritage questline. Okay, one last final note, going back to Jaina Proudmoore, her parents, Catherine and Dalen, were also a heterosexual couple, and Jaina's relationship to them as a daughter played a significant role in the plot of Battle for Azeroth, as well as Warcraft 3.
Father, why wouldn't you listen?
Above all else, Jaina, he was a proud warrior. Remember him as such.
Time to go, Jaina.
I love you, Papa.
Come topside, sweetheart.
Your loving mother will never forgive you, murderer.
Do you accept the judgment of your homeland?
I accept your judgment, Mother. My daughter, forgive me.
Those were all of the relationships that I was able to get just from going off of characters who have battlenet icons. What I wanted to also emphasize here is that these are all prominent characters in the World of Warcraft story. That's why they have battlenet icons. They are iconic. Players recognize them. They were invested in their stories. A lot of these characters are faction leaders, so they're kind of like the leader of whatever race that you choose to play as in the game. You form emotional ties to them. You get emotionally involved in their stories, which also include stories about their relationships. These create heartfelt moments or tense moments, or they up the stakes or the drama in some way. So I don't think it's accurate to say that romance doesn't play a part in Warcraft's story. Romance is a genre that's just as much a part of Warcraft as fantasy or sci-fi. Romance is woven into Warcraft's story. So when someone tries to say, like Steve Denuser did during the Wowhead interview, that Warcraft is not a game about gender and sexuality, I don't think that's really accurate. Gender and sexuality do play a role in World of Warcraft. It's just cisnormative gender and heterosexuality, which are two concepts that are so baked into our society that we barely perceive them when they do show up. I think that's just something to keep in mind, is that sexuality has kind of always been folded into Warcraft's lore. So the reason why I wanted to list all of these out is that there was a quote by executive producer John Haidt that he gave, I believe, in an interview on July 2020, where he said, "WoW is a game that doesn't try to emphasize sexual relationships. So in that regard, we don't necessarily tell that part of the story other than to hint around it." This was in response to a question about like if there would be queer characters in the game or not. And I have to say, I think most people would say,
no,
that is not true. WoW is a game that does emphasize sexual relationships. It just emphasizes heterosexual relationships, which are
the norm,
taken to be the norm.
The norm.
And it just doesn't stand out to people because they're so commonplace.
Yeah, it really is.
They're the default in society.
And I'm gonna have a guess, and apologies, John, if this is incorrect. I'm guessing John Haidt is straight as well. So to him, these are all normal things.
He goes on to say, "We don't try to put a big focus on it and make it a big deal. We just try to make the game feel comfortable, friendly, and approachable for everybody in the game, regardless of where they come from," which is,
I disagree.
I think, admirable to aspire to.
It's admirable.
In practice,
I disagree.
In practice, doesn't always shake out.
I do not agree even slightly with that. Like, it's. I mean, that's a lovely thing, but like I always say, I don't have much respect for people who talk the talk, can't walk the walk, is what I always say. I think actions speak much louder than words. You can talk all day long, but unless you actually do something about it or make efforts, like actual noticeable efforts to change that, I don't think words mean fuck all, is my polite. I'm not going to get too heated during this, but I think that's very rich coming from someone in that position in this game. So all I've got to say is that it may be nice and comfortable for you straight coming into this and never wants to really think about queer couples or queer relationship. Unfortunately, for some of us, this is our life. It's a nice sentiment, but I think it rings hollow.